You are right on time for Hope TV Newswatch on this first day of February 2024. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Gloria Musimbi and on the sign language interpretation is Boniface Murithi. Now making headlines, President William Ruto has adamantly retained his stand on proceeding with his affordable housing project, claiming that he has a proper plan on how to raise funds towards the initiative to secure housing. Speaking during his development tour in Bungoma County, President Ruto urged all contractors and 130 employed youths under the housing project to continue working on the housing construction despite the legal roadblocks and scrutiny from various stakeholders. This comes amidst a court ruling terming it as unconstitutional.
Najua ya kwamba kwa sababu yale mambo yanaendelea kotini, kuna makontrakta wengine wamepata wasiwasi, wakawaambia vijana wanaofanya kazi ati kuna maneno. Mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, contractors wote wanaofanya kazi kwa mambo ya affordable housing, pamoja na vijana wote na wale wanafanya kazi katika mpango huu, karibu watu 1130. Mimi nataka niwaambie waendelee kazini kwa sababu hii mpango inaendelea mpaka pale tutamalizana na mambo kule kotini.
Now, elsewhere, a petition has been filed before the Judicial Service Commission seeking the removal of Chief Justice Martha Koome from office over the appointment of 22 members of the Tax Appeal Tribunal last year. The petition was filed by Michael Kojo Otieno, who alleges that Chief Justice violated the Judicial Code of Conduct and Ethics in the appointment of the 22 members of the Tax Appeal Tribunal last year. Otieno claims that Koome failed to adhere to the law on the appointment of the members of the tribunal.
Kenya did not comply with the provisions, express clear provisions from prima facie evidence on recruitment of members at the Tax Appeal Tribunal. Whereas the powers which had been conferred upon the Chief Justice, she relied on an old law instead of a new law, the Tax Appeal Tribunal Amendment Act of 2022, together with Article 73(1), Article 73(a), which talks about public trust to be exercised in a manner that vests in the state officer the responsibility to serve the people rather than to rule over them. That one clearly indicates that if you've appointed more people than the expected number, then definitely you want to have power to rule over them. Rule 3.5 states that a judicial officer shall exhibit respect to the rule of law, comply with law, avoid impropriety and appearance of impropriety, and act in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judicial service. That one definitely clearly indicates that the CJ did not comply with the law.
Now, on health matters, the government remains on high alert in readiness to curb down the spreading of the red eye disease in the country. According to the government, Isaac Mwaura, 1 case and 3 more cases have been reported in Kisii and Nairobi respectively. At the same time, Mwaura has announced that the government has already completed Season 3 of polio administering in most counties. Now, our very own Nelias Wanjiru with more.
As the red eye disease is on the rise and now a big threat in the country after several cases have been reported in Mombasa, Malindi, Kilifi, Kisii and Nairobi counties, the government has already put measures to curb the disease.
The government takes note of the outbreak of the red eye disease in the coastal region, specifically in the counties of Mombasa, Lamu and Malindi. Few cases have also been reported in other parts of the country, 1 in Kisii and 3 in Nairobi County. The disease is spread by touching eyes of infected persons or contaminated surfaces, then one touching their eyes.
According to the government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura, the disease is not fatal and Kenyans should not be much worried about it because it is curable. He has urged Kenyans to maintain hand hygiene since it spread through touching eyes after interacting with an infected person.
Members of the public are therefore advised to frequently wash their hands and keep off touching their faces, disinfect high-touch surfaces, and don't share personal items like towels for those affected. I don't know how that would work in a homestead. They are self-advised to self-isolate to reduce spread.
Mwaura has also announced that the third season of polio immunization in various counties, which kicked off last week, has been concluded. The exercise after it had been postponed due to El Nino rains.
In an effort to further fight this outbreak, the government has conducted 3 rounds of supplementary immunization activity, in brackets SIA, that's what they are known as, with 7,683,235 children already covered in the counties of Garissa, Kiambu, Nairobi, Kajiado, Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, Tana River, Kitui, Lamu, and Machakos counties. We have also enhanced surveillance at the national and county levels, and currently the government is doing collection of environmental samples twice a month in Garissa County.
At the same time, the government have already given out 1.2 mosquito nets countrywide to combat the spread of the Rift Valley fever.
The public is further advised to avoid handling and consumption of uninspected meat, to use protective equipment when handling animal births, discard animal stillbirths, and carcasses should be disposed of immediately. Individuals experiencing a fever are advised to visit the nearest health facility for assessment. The government has also distributed over 1.2 million insecticide-treated mosquito nets across the country, and members of the public are advised to use them.
The government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura has said the Kenya Kwanza government is focusing on agriculture, business and the health sector to make sure that they render their promises they give out to the Kenyans dubbed hustlers. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Nelias Wanjiru.
Thank you, Nelias, for that report. Now, as we progress, the Office Director of Public Prosecutions has filed an affidavit opposing the release of the Kenyan suspect Kevin Adam Kinyanjui Kang'ethe on bail pending the extradition proceedings, led by Prosecution Counsel Vincent Munda. The DPP told Milimani Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina that they will file the affidavit opposing his release on bail and bond terms. The court ordered Kang'ethe to be detained for 30 days at the Muthaiga police station in Nairobi until March 4th. In the case, it is alleged that the suspect stabbed his girlfriend Margaret Mbitu in the face and neck before locking her in a car in the parking garage at Boston Logan International Airport, and then he fled to Kenya through the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and hid before he was arrested on January the 30th, 2024 in Parklands, Nairobi.
The respondent to be detained at Muthaiga police station or any other police station within the Republic of Kenya that is convenient for mobile investigations for a period of 30 days to enable the investigating officer, number 241343, Inspector Patrick Oweri of Directorate Homicide Investigation, to expedite his extradition process and subsequent prosecution in the US. So that at this juncture, Your Honor, the issue of bail cannot be. And these are the directions we were seeking. Because already there's a court order for him to be detained for the next 30 days.
The same be filed and served today upon the counsel for the respondent, who shall then be at liberty to file a response, if any, by the close of business on 2nd of February this year, that is tomorrow. Number 2, the counsel for the respondent is also given time to file and serve replying affidavit in regard to the notice of motion dated 31st of January 2024 and filed on the same date. They said replying affidavit to be filed and served within the next 3 days. Directions on the manner of disposal of the notice of motion shall be given on Monday, 5th of February 2024, when issues relating to bail and bond will also be canvassed, and the file is marked as safe file because it is containing the original documents.
And with that, we take a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more news updates.
Africa International University takes pride in being at the forefront of producing Christ-centered leaders, transforming Africa and the world. At AIU, we lead, we innovate, we inspire, and we are a family bound by a common goal of transforming the world. There is no better time to think about your career transformation in an international community. Our intakes are in January, May, and September and are currently ongoing. Embark today on an exciting and life-building academic journey by enrolling in our diverse certificates, diplomas, bachelor's, postgraduates, master's, or PhD programs. Africa International University, a university in the heart of Africa, with Africa on its heart.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find the balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Cindy?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Did they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcasts?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
Oh, no worries. You can just check out their latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
You, the listener, are the reason why we go on air. You, the friend of hope, are the reason why hope is alive. You have helped us take hope across the country and to the rest of the world. Through your giving, we have been on air for 18 years and witnessed many people coming to the Lord. Through your giving, we have expanded our reach to 3 new regions, namely Kisii, Nyeri, and Meru. Through your giving, we have expanded our reach to an international audience through DSTV and GoTV platforms. Thank you for your sacrifice and generosity toward this great initiative. As we continue spreading hope to the other unreached regions in Kenya, you are invited to be part of the Friends of Hope through a contribution of any amount via M-Pesa Paybill 933933, account name FOH. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive. God bless you.
Watu wa Mungu, Be the vocalist hapa, and I'm just here to give you a testament. I am a living testimony of the slogan of Hope FM, where they say, listen and live. I am such a serious testimony and a testament to that, a statement, because they have impacted my life big time. And imagine ile kitu wanauliza ni ati, the way they have impacted my life and your life, tunaweza jaribu pia to spread hii kitu mpaka uko mashinani, to spread hii word ya God uko mashinani. And the only thing they're requesting us to do is just contribute 100 bob. We just become partners with them. Na unapatana tu na bob moja. Lakini pia kama una feel uko philanthropic sana, unaweza piga jil 2, tuende hivyo, alright? And so they are calling it 100 for 1, where you just give out 100 bob and they can reach out to another soul. And of course mnauliza, okay, tuko na iso tunatuma wapi? Iso tunatuma via M-Pesa, na tuko na paybill number. Paybill number yetu ni 933933. Alafu hapo kwa account name, alright? Andika tu FOH, yani Friends of Hope. Alafu tuma ile kitu natuma. Hapo mbele ni pin number yako na ni siri yako. Alafu tu ushamaliza hii kitu, click on the send. Na imagine utakuwa umefanya kitu moja serious sana. We as Hope Media tutakuwa reach out to one soul. God bless you. Be there.
Je, ushawahi kuweka jambo kwenye mizani? Ushawahi kupata uzito wake? Haya basi, usitapetape zaidi. Naomba unigande, maana mizani ipo hapa kwa ajili yako.
Vyakula na mbegu za kitamaduni,
na kutuliza fikra na kukuwezesha kupima masuala ibuka katika jamii, tena kwa busara. Tukutane mizani kila Ijumaa saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV.
Africa International University takes pride in being at the forefront of producing Christ-centered leaders, transforming Africa and the world. At AIU, we lead, we innovate, we inspire, and we are a family bound by a common goal of transforming the world. There is no better time to think about your career transformation in an international community. Our intakes are in January, May, and September and are currently ongoing. Embark today on an exciting and life-building academic journey by enrolling in our diverse certificates, diplomas, bachelor's, postgraduates, master's, or PhD programs. Africa International University, a university in the heart of Africa, with Africa on its heart.
Welcome back. And religious leaders drawn from Christian and Muslim fraternity have today presented a petition to Parliament to inquire into the proliferation of LGBTQ in Kenya. Speaking in Nairobi, the religious leaders have raised concerns over the attempts to legalize LGBTQ activities in the country and vowed to stand for family values. They have asked Parliament to fast-track the discussion and passage of the Family Protection Bill sponsored by Homa Bay MP Peter Kaluma in Parliament, otherwise known as the Kaluma Bill. Here's Alice Diana with this report.
Senior members of the clergy from the Catholic, Protestant and the evangelical churches, as well as leaders from various Muslim organizations, have raised concern over the proliferation of homosexual agenda in Kenya. The clergy have petitioned Parliament to inquire into the proliferation of LGBTQ in the country. The Men of Cloth now want Parliament to ensure the Cabinet Secretaries for Education, Health, Foreign Affairs and Labour and Social Protection and the Inspector General of Police to confirm the measures they are taking relating to the sneaking of LGBTQ agenda into the country.
We request, therefore, after we have made inquiries into the foregoing issues, that Parliament ensure, pursuant to Standing Order 25A and 40, and in exercise of its oversight role, that Cabinet Secretaries of Education, of Health, of Foreign Affairs, and of Labour and Social Protection, and also the Inspector General of Police confirm the measures they are taking relating to the sneaking of the LGBTQ agenda into Kenya and the international curriculum offered in Kenya, relating to the Ministry of Health's position on the definition of sexual health and rights, relating to the proliferation of foreign actor funding and lobbying on LGBTQ matters in Kenya, relating to the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection's plans to safeguard the family from such corrosive influences through the Department of Social Protection and Family, relating to enforcement of the Penal Code provisions, including Section 162, 163, and 165 of the Penal Code that prohibit homosexual conduct in Kenya.
The religious leaders have also asked Parliament to fast-track the discussion and passage of the Family Protection Bill sponsored by Homa Bay MP Peter Kaluma in Parliament, popularly known as the Kaluma Bill.
Request Parliament to fast-track the discussion and passage of the Family Protection Bill sponsored by Honorable Peter Kaluma in Parliament, otherwise known as the Kaluma Bill. We also request Parliament to reject completely the proposed decriminalization bill by the National Council for Administration of Justice that seeks to allow certain moral actions that go against our moral laws, like prostitution, to be legalized in Kenya.
The clergy have vowed to speak against this vice and strongly support family values.
Darkness is not the opposite of light. It is the absence of light. But in Kenya, Kenya is a country of light. Kenya is a country of people who fear God from different backgrounds. And so we will go out there and we will rescue our trapped young people, our trapped girls and boys, and we will rescue them. But in the same breath, we will resist those that are workers of iniquity.
Some of us, we are ready to pay the price for the cause of family matters. It doesn't matter whether it's money we are going to lose. It's a question of money or family. We are ready to pay the price. In actual fact, some of us have already lost funding and speaking appointments in the United States because we spoke against this ruling, and we are willing to pay the price and to go full blast.
On his part, Homa Bay MP Peter Kaluma assured the religious leaders that the Family Protection Bill, once presented in Parliament, will be discussed in the shortest time possible.
That the mood in Parliament is with the family as a fundamental unit of our society, is with them and is shared across all Kenyans. I have no doubt, and I entertain no doubt in my mind, that as and when this bill will be on the floor of Parliament, it is the kind of a bill that we can treat and have concluded even within a day. Because the need to protect the family is now a critical need, and it is something we all rally around because of the dangers that we are talking about. This bill, in summary, will define who is a woman, who is a man, what is sex, what is gender, what is male, what is female. So that nobody should be struggling to define what a woman is, so that the shattering of the women's rights we've been fighting for eternity can stop.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Now, the government has pledged to work with farmers from all over the country and respond to their issues positively. According to the government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura, 17,330 farmers have already registered themselves in cooperatives will be paid their pending wages of 2.1 billion Kenyan shillings. Mwaura has further said that already farmers in various parts of the country have received the fertilizer at 2,500 per bag, and this activity started on 27th of January this year.
I am glad to report to fellow Kenyans that the government has already imported 100,000 metric tons of fertilizer, and in the next 2 weeks, the government will be able to distribute over 1 million bags of fertilizer, and already 45 lorries or trucks loads have been flagged in Mombasa, and also others are going to be flagged today in Bungoma as we speak. So in readiness for the planting season, the government is distributing subsidized fertilizer for the long rains season and to registered farmers, please note, at Kenya shillings 2,500 per bag. So if you're a farmer out there and you need to benefit, please go and register. These distributions started last Saturday, 27th January, with a consignment of 240,000 bags of NPK 23-23-0 being dispatched to the NCPB depots and other distribution centers. As of today, over 32,420 bags have been delivered to early planting counties of Narok, Nakuru, Bomet, Migori, Kisii, and Nyamira. So if you're a farmer, you have a hustler farmer from there, that is a place you need to look at. The short rains subsidized fertilizer was distributed from 1st August 2023 to 26th of January 2024. So that fertilizer that was given out was about 4.5 million bags, and combined with for the long rains was 2.3 million, but in total it was 4.5 million bags as of then, and we were actually able to increase the number of bags produced for this country to actually from 40 million bags to 61 million, an increase of 21 million.
On international business news, Kenya is targeting to raise tourist arrivals from West Africa by pitching for business and leisure travel that are key interests to the region. Kenya Tourism Board acting CEO John Chirchir says that the West African market is integral in the strategy to diversify tourist source markets and broaden the country's destination portfolio. Elsewhere, Sigor Member of Parliament Peter Lochakapong has challenged the Pokot community to shift from livestock keeping to cultivating crops such as maize, beans and sorghum. According to Lochakapong, the fresh row that is being witnessed between Pokot community and the neighboring communities, for example, Karamojong in Uganda and Sebe in Kenya, overgrazing of pasture, can never end anytime soon. Speaking at Masol during a public baraza, the Member of Parliament stated that the severe drought being experienced in the region can only be addressed through cultivation of crops, and this will provide enough food for the community and livestock.
Nataka tunatumia pia nafasi hii kuhimiza watu wetu wakuwe na kasi nyingine badala ya hii maneno ya mifugo, kwa sababu kuna hii mtoni ya Weiwei ambayo pia inapita karibu na hapa. Tunawahimiza pia waweze pia kuangalia mambo ya kilimo kidogo, hii maneno ya kunyunyizia mimea maji kwa hii maji ya Weiwei ili waweze kupata chakula, alafu sasa waweze kujitegemea. Sisi pia tuko na mpango ya kuanulia majenereta ili waweze kutoa maji kutoka mtoni na wanyunyize mashamba yao ili waweze kusalisha chakula ya kutosha, alafu tuweze kuondoa njaa katika sehemu hii.
Hii ni eneo ambalo limekuwa limeachwa nyuma na mpaka wa sasa ndio watu wanajaribu kujisatiti kuishi sehemu hii. Kitu changamoto sana hapa ni hali ya maisha ya wakaji vile wanakaa, maana hapa sehemu hii tunategemea mifugo kama njia moja ya kupata chakula kwa area hii. Ukiangalia vile wanakaa ni wafugaji, hawana kazi nyingine, na kwa saa hizi tunaelekea wakati wa kiangazi na tunajua kwamba hatuna nyasi sehemu hii ya Pokot. Huwa tunaelekea sasa, inafika wakati wa tunahama sasa kutoka hapa tukielekea Turkana County kutafuta nyasi. Ile kitu tunaomba kwa sasa ni kwamba tafadhali tunaomba serikali watusaidie kwa saa hizi kabisa. Aswa tukutane hao wanajeshi ambao wanaishi Loyapat. Ini wakati tunategemea mifugo na tunategemea nyasi kwa hiyo sehemu. Tafadhali wasitulaumu kwamba tunakuja na wanyama kwa njia mbaya.
Efforts to improve the education sector in the Western region, M-Pesa Foundation has handed over newly constructed infrastructure to schools in Bungoma, Vihiga and Kakamega counties, targeting more than 3 million learners in 3 years. Among the projects set to benefit students in the Western region are constructed and furnished administration blocks, access to sanitary towels, installation of water tanks, among others.
The M-Pesa Foundation is one of the foundations established by Safaricom, specifically to undertake large projects. We undertake projects in the education center, as well as projects in the maternal and antenatal childcare. We have expended 25 million shillings here to revamp the entire infrastructure of the school. When we first came here, the school was really made of mud. The classrooms were dilapidated. We have really brought it all down and put in the infrastructure that you have seen today. We have had the privilege of the president being here today. We have taken advantage of his presence to come and open this school. And part of what we have promised the president is that we will continue to undertake projects of this nature across all 47 counties because Safaricom's aim, shall I say, is to impact communities across all 47 counties. As you know, Safaricom's flagship in the education center is the M-Pesa Foundation Academy, where we take students from across all 47 counties, very poor students, and we give them all the facilities to try and succeed. Now, what we have tried to do in moving across into the 47 counties is to take schools such as this one, identify them, and try and impact the lives of the students here. When you impact a child, you impact that child's family, you impact that child's siblings, you impact that child's parents, guardians, and you impact that child's community. So the ripple effect is extremely significant.
At least 700 boda operators have been sensitized about the importance of wearing helmets at work as a way to ensure safety that of their customers against road accidents. The event, which involved various organizations such as Tegla Lorupe Foundation, BH Media, TransAid, Absa Bank, and the Administrative Police Association, was held in Kibra constituency, Nairobi County, where the officials urged the boda operators to embrace investments in order to experience financial growth. Headlines and sports news. Liverpool retained their advantage at the top of the Premier League table with a dominant 4-1 win over Chelsea at Anfield. Diogo Jota opened the scoring with a solo effort before Conor Bradley scored his first senior goal for Liverpool to leave Chelsea behind at the break for the first time in the Premier League season. This season, I beg your pardon, Dominic scored the third goal for the Reds, but Christopher Nkunku pulled one back for Chelsea. Luis Diaz, however, ended any hope of a comeback from Mauricio Pochettino's side with the fourth goal. The result sees Chelsea stay at 10th position in the table. In the other midweek EPL fixtures, Manchester City beat Burnley 3-1 to keep the pressure on Premier League leaders Liverpool, while Tottenham Hotspur moved back into the top four with a thrilling 3-2 over Brentford. Now, Vitor Roque scored his first goal for Barcelona in their first match since manager Xavi announced he was leaving at the end of the season. Joao Cancelo crossed with the outside of his boot and was headed home in the 63rd minute by substitute Roque, who joined the action just a minute earlier. Osasuna defender Unai Garcia was sent off 4 minutes later after fouling 18-year-old Brazilian Roque. But Barca moved up to third, 8 points behind the La Liga leaders Girona. In the other midweek La Liga fixture, Atletico Madrid thrashed Rayo Vallecano 2-1. And with that, we come to the tail end of our news tonight. Have a blessed night. My name is Gloria Musimbi, and on the sign language interpretation has been Boniface Murithi.